The beings are 3 to 4 feet tall and weigh 25 to 50 pounds. They have grayish skin and large heads.
So not only did Lazar see discs there, he also saw aliens. What did these alien beings look like? He saw several different types, or one type, or...
He saw the single type, the little gray, 3 times. Once through the door, once when he was taking the drugs, the pine-smelling fluid, and once when he went to the MGM for the lie detector test. When he opened the door for this room where they were going to take the test, there was a desk and a chair and a setting that reminded him of the incident at S4 when he saw the alien, and he nearly fainted. Gene Huff was there and said that he nearly fainted.
These beings said that man was the product of externally corrected evolution. They said that man as a species had been genetically altered 65 times. They referred to humans as containers, yet I don't know what we are containers of. As I'm sure you know now, it was impossible for me to corroborate the information.
Was Lazar purposely brought to S4, do you think, to leak information?
That's always been a possibility. It's always been a possibility to leak information to John Lear, false information, to lead them in a different direction. And I've never denied that. That could be true.
John, that March 22nd tape with Lazar, why is that important in the history of ufology?
Because that's the first time that Bob took us out there knowing ahead, a day in advance, of exactly the hour and the minute when that flying saucer would fly. And we saw it at that time.
And how many minutes did you get on camera?
Nothing on camera. The camera was on the bumper wheel. I forgot to take a picture.
Because you were so caught up in the event at that time. Did you ever get any photos of UFOs that you took yourself? Have you ever taken...
No, but Bob or George Knapp did the next Wednesday night of it going around.
Now, have you ever had an experience with Wackenhut security? I know you and Bob and Jean and some of your wives went out one time. It's a famous story where you went out to film and were...
Yeah, and other than the thing out in the desert, no experience.
What was your feeling when you guys were being held by the sheriffs there at that time? Were you feeling in jeopardy at all, or fairly cool-headed? You've been through combat and a lot of different things. How does that rank as far as stress levels?
Well, you know, S4 let us go, and then when we got out onto the highway, that's when Doug, what was his name?
The sheriff.
The sheriff. That's when he stopped us, and he knew all of us. And he said, okay, hands against the car, you know. All I want to know is 2 things. Why are there 5 guys in this car and there was only 4 on the test site? And where's the 9mm? And we just didn't say anything for an hour, and then pretty soon he said, I don't know why I'm supposed to tell you this, but what I'm supposed to tell you is to get out of here and never come back.
How was Bob Lazar treated by the FBI agent on the debriefing the day after the night, viewing objects above Groom Lake with you?
I don't know. You know, Bob said it was pretty rough.
What did he say happened?
They took him out of the car with a gun in his ear and then said, now Bob, when we gave you this clearance, it didn't mean you were supposed to tell all your friends about the flying saucers.
And what did Bob do after that in regard to disclosing information?
Well, he didn't make up his mind then. He said that he didn't clearly say he wanted to stay or didn't want to stay, but eventually he decided not to stay.
And eventually he left S4.
Yeah.
So is it possible Lazar was given false information in hopes that he would spread it, do you think? Or do you think this is what he discovered was actually what was going on? Where are you today on that?
I think he discovered what was actually going on, but I do admit the possibility that it was, bogus.
Well, do you keep in contact with Gene Huff and Bob Lazar at all? What's Lazar's stance on everything these days in regard to S4?
He doesn't want to talk about anything about it.
He's still involved in the nuclear industry, is that right?
Supposedly.
But he doesn't want to publicly come out or discuss it anymore because he feels threatened, because he doesn't want to be discredited.
Well, he got his clearance back, and one of the promises when he got his clearance back is they said, "Now, Bob, you're not going to give us any more trouble, are you?"
Obviously, if this information is true, the ramifications are far-reaching, and you don't have to be a nuclear physicist to figure that out. Lazar summed up his feelings when stating, "The hardware and technology that I was exposed to should be placed in the proper hands of the scientific community, and it is the right of every person on Earth to know that there is physical evidence which proves that there is life elsewhere, and that at least one form of that life has been here.